Hey guys, in today's video, I wanted to show you all my Fortnite settings. I get this asked a lot on stream, like what are my current settings, or people asking for me to do an updated settings video. If you find this video helpful or informative, please do remember to give it a like rating, subscribe if you would like to see more, and use code evolve-jake in the Fortnite item shop. My X and Y sensitivity are both 6.2, or whatever, however you want to describe that, 0.62. Targeting 0.503, scope 0.520, building 1.7, edit 1.5. I think both of these are going to be increased over time. I would like to eventually have max build and max edit sense. I'm just not currently comfortable enough to do that, so I've been increasing it incrementally for quite some time. Every now and then I just bump it up a bit, or if I start messing up my edits or messing up my builds a lot, I might turn it down and then take a step back. It just depends on how things are going, but ideally I feel like being comfortable with max build and max edit sense would be the best case scenario. Xbox safe zone, I don't think that matters. Next thing that matters is sprint by default. Sprint by default is an important setting because if you have to click the sprint button every time your momentum is interrupted, you're going to lose out on some timing in some build fights. And there's pretty much isn't any time you want to be walking in not sprinting. Sprint by default might seem odd at first, and like I was someone who was kind of reserved from using it, but it actually does make a huge difference, and it does help free up a keybind, which can make a difference in your gameplay. Another thing, HUD scale, I skipped over this. I have it on 0.90. Some people go even lower to like 0.70. The reason why I have mine on 0.90 is because when I'm streaming, people like to be able to see things like the map or how many players are left alive or how many kills I have. So making that smaller can be a bit of a detriment. So that's why I have it on 0.90. But this is just preference, like a lot of things in this video. Hold to swap pickup is off. If enabled, the current weapon can be swapped with pickup on the ground by holding use. I initially really liked this setting because it just gave you more control over how you were ordering things if you wanted things in a specific order. But if you have this on, apparently it does make you pick up items slower. I noticed I was losing out a lot of one of those fights where like you and an opponent land on a gun at the same time. And I had someone told me even if there's nothing in your inventory, it does make you pick up things slower. So I'd recommend turning this off even though I initially really liked it. Reset building choices on, aim assist on, edit mode aim assist is off. This is preference. Some people like to use edit mode aim assist. I don't use it. Turbo building on. Obviously, you should definitely have turbo building on. Controller auto run is off. That's different by sprint by default. Auto open doors is off. Auto pickup weapons is on. But the key benefit of using auto pickup is no longer a thing, so I should probably turn that off, but it just feels weird. Auto sort consumables to right. It can be helpful if you like having your consumables last, but I put my AR last and my shotgun first because when you wall replace on controller, it's going to put you on your slot 1 afterwards, and I want to be on my shotgun after I wall replace. Builder Pro build immediately is a huge setting. Vibration I have off. Record replays I have off because it can impact how the game is running. If you have a normal Xbox or an Xbox One S and you're having a lot of dropped frames, or whatever PlayStation you have, I don't know the models of those too well, and you're having a lot of like hitches or dropped frames, consider turning replay mode off because it can make an impact on your gameplay. Colorblind setting, I have it on Deadzone 4. It's supposed to be on 5. I would have this on 10 if I wasn't a streamer. I think having it on 10 makes it even easier to see through the storm, and that's the key benefit of this setting, is it makes it easier to see through the storm, and it can make it easier to find llamas while you're gliding and dropping into the map. But I had it on 10, and people on the stream complained that the game looked really ugly. I didn't really notice much of a difference. I didn't think it looked worse or better, but I feel like it is easier to see through the storm the higher this is. So if you don't care about anything other than like how effective something is, consider turning that up. Finally, my keybinds, I play claw. I use one paddle and it's for pickaxe. That's why pickaxe is on a weird button. And so yeah, I have Y edit, and that's about like the only thing you really need to know for this. Left stick is unbound because it just I have to click left stick way too hard in order to activate that button. But I would put confirm or reset. I would put reset on there. Let's go to edit. I have LT confirm and X reset. I would have LT confirm and left stick reset, I think. If for some reason I have to just click the left stick way too hard, so I don't do that. And I tried using a paddle for it, and I could never really get comfortable using an additional paddle. And for some reason, when you change toggle pickaxe, you can't have pickaxe be something on combat and something different on edit, even though you could have jump as a different keybind on each different preset. For some reason, pickaxe is just different. The main thing with your editing controls is you likely want to have your edit button and your confirm button be 2 different buttons. You see I have Y edit and LT confirm. See, Y edit, LT confirm. The reason for that is because it's just a faster motion if you're hitting one button to initiate the edit and a different button to confirm the edit, especially if they're from two different like fingers or hands. So I hit Y with my right index finger, and I hit LT or confirm with my left index finger, and this just makes it a very fluid motion. Let's say I had X confirm, that would actually be really slow because I hit Y and X with the same finger, so it would actually be like more for that finger to do, which would take more time, whereas like they can happen almost at the same time if you're using two different fingers or two different like parts of your hand for it. Essentially, it's how double edit keybinds work. You want to have edit and confirm as two different things. If you have not already done that, that's something I would definitely recommend doing with your keybinds, because most people think it's an advantage, and once I started using this, I feel like my edits got a lot better as well. My resets are still just not ideal, but my editing and confirming is much faster than it was when I used the same button for confirm and edit. My dead zone is 0.10, or it's supposed to be 0.10 on both. I have no idea why it's 0.16 on left, but it's supposed to be 0.10. This is just preference, and it comes down to your controller. Dead zones are how much you have to move the analog stick to initiate movement in game. Ideally, in a perfect world, if your controller was perfect, 0 would be like the ideal number. But with a lot of these controllers, since they're mass produced and the way you use them just creates wear and tear on the controller, if you go that low, you're likely going to have stick drift. So what I would recommend is going as low as you can with these dead zones before stick drift starts to happen. So for me, that's 0.10. When I put it lower, I started having stick drift, which basically my character would move, or the aiming would move without me actually intending to move anything in game, just because like I said, these controllers are not perfect, and the way you use them creates wear and tear. I don't think there's anything. Oh, there actually is something interesting with my build controls. So I have right stick is just change material and change trap. I think, yeah. See, like the default one is to rotate, repair, and change trap, but I don't want to ever rotate my ramps. I never use rotating ramps. It's very rare that anybody uses rotating ramps. I haven't seen a use for people rotating ramps in quite some time. So I like to use right stick, change material, and change trap. Makes it very, it basically cuts down on mistakes, and then changing your trap with this button is really good because you don't have to take your thumb off the analog stick. You don't really have to do much. It's very easy to cycle through traps, and it's very easy to cycle through material if that ever matters. It hasn't in quite some time, but when the deagle was a thing that was really good, and a lot of people were using deagles to like destroy walls instantly, it mattered what material you were on in a fight. Like if you had metal, you could kind of counter that person's deagle in a way, but there really isn't anything in game that really makes that a big deal at the moment, but it was once in the past convenient to be able to do that. So I think that's going to be it for this video. If you found it helpful, like I said before, please do remember to give it a like rating, subscribe if you would like to see more, use code evolve-jake in the item shop, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, both are evolve-jake. My Twitch is evolve_jake. I hope you guys found it helpful. Comment down below what you found helpful about this video, and I'll see you guys another time. Thanks for watching.